to the Hard Rock Cafe in New York City, where the Sting premiere party is getting underway. In the next hour, we are going to show some clips from the film, as well as see a world premiere video from Sting's new movie called Bring On the Night. I'm Martha Quinn, and my co-host for tonight's star of stage, screen, and staying elsewhere, Howie Mandel.
How you doing, Martha? This is so exciting. We got fans. We have stars. I'm sorry, sir, you can't park there. This movie, Bring On the Night's opening this Friday at a theater near you, and we don't even know where you live. We also have a third co-host, and he's inside already eating the hors d'oeuvres. Let's get to him, Mark Goodman.
Oh, boy. Thank you, Howie and Martha. Howie is getting wild already tonight. It is going to be a great one. Thank goodness the rain has stopped in New York City, and all the stars are filing in. Sting is going to be here tonight. I saw Miles Copeland, Sting's manager, downstairs, who has a big part in the film. And the guest list is pretty impressive for the Bring On the Night party. But things are just kind of getting started here, but really the evening got started a couple of hours ago. That's when everybody began filing into the Ziegfeld Theater for the grand opening of Bring On the Night, Sting's film, with his band. It stars Sting and the band: Branford Marsalis, Kenny Kirkland, Daryl Jones, Omar Hakim, Janice Pendarvis, and Dolette McDonald. Our cameras were there as the star-studded audience arrived for the screening.
Okay, tonight's the premiere of the film Bring On the Night. It opens up Friday all across the country. How are you both feeling tonight?
I'm a bit nervous, actually. I'll be glad when tonight's over. I just want to go to bed.
How about you?
Well, I'm very excited. Yes, I'd like to go to bed too.
What's going through your mind right now?
Nerves, sheer panic, you know? Is it going to work? Has it all been worth it? Are people going to like it? Terrifying. Terrifying. But things look good.
You've had other movie premieres before. How does this one differ or compare to those?
Well, this is a different sort of thing. This is a documentary, you know? We've had a script, we've had actors, and this is something loose about this, and we don't know whether people are going to like it.
I'm looking forward to seeing the birth of a new band, seeing what happened.
What have you heard about the film?
Sorry?
What have you heard about the film?
I've heard that Miles is pretty good in it, Miles Copeland, and he shouts at people, and I've heard that it's about I heard that Sting's baby's born in it, his new son, so it's very diverse. I don't know what to expect.
I feel a bit nervous about everybody seeing the birth of Jake, obviously, but I was very moved by it, and hopefully everybody else will be as well.
I hope that they get a better insight of us as people, and you know, gosh, and I hope they enjoy the movie a lot.
No problem.
I heard it's great. I heard it's fantastic. I heard it's one of the best. That's what Sting said. Now I'm going to see it.
Have you heard anything about the movie?
Nothing, not a thing. It's about a small Jewish village in Russia, right?
I think it's just great.
Wonderful. So many wonderful musicians together at the same time. It's great.
We loved it.
What are you expecting to see here tonight?
Oh, God, I don't know. Something incredible. Something brand new. I think what Michael Apted has in store is going to be amazing. It's a big surprise because it's a very realistic film. It's not, you know, it's not sticky sweet. It's not polished. And I think that's important in a documentary. I think Apted does that very well. And I love Sting.
I enjoyed the movie when I saw it. I really had a good time, and I was very nervous about it. And so I think it's a good movie. I think it'll appeal to people who aren't necessarily interested in music as well, because it's about people, you know, and who knows? I don't know. I'm so nervous.
You have to keep trying new things, otherwise life gets boring, you know, and everybody has to do that. And it's a project that's been successful. I think Sting has accomplished a lot out of it for himself. It's broadened some of the things he's done, and it gives him new fodder for new ideas.
What do you hope the film achieves for the general public?
Well, I just hope it breaks down some barriers, you know, in the music industry, you know. and just educate some people who listen to music, just educate.
I like his music, and I like the direction this is going in, you know, with the Marcellus and Daryl and those guys.
When all is said and done, are you happy you did it at this point?
I think so, yeah. I think I enjoyed making it, I enjoyed watching it, and I'm sure everybody else will too. Touch wood.
Well, that's the way it was just a couple of hours ago at the Ziegfeld Theater, which is just a few blocks away from where we are now at the Hard Rock Cafe. We're celebrating the opening of Bring On the Night, and our first guest tonight is Mr. Dan Aykroyd. Welcome.
Yes,
you have had quite a bit of experience with rock and roll films, what with the Blues Brothers?
That's true, that's true.
What do you think it takes to make a great rock movie?
Well, I think it has to be shot correctly. I mean, you've got to get, when you shoot those dancers, you got to see the feet. I think that's a good part of it. It helps to have a few car chases thrown in there. But this was a different kind of movie. We're not in the same area as Blues Brothers. This was a different kind of musical. It's like Robbie Robertson made a great musical. The band, the last stand of the band, the last waltz was a great musical. And this, you know, has elements in that style, but it kind of maybe moves a little better, and it's kind of got a, you go a lot of places in it, you know.
We got to credit you with bringing the car chase to a rock and roll movie, I suppose.
Well, that was it was a blues, rhythm and blues movie. That really was. But I love James Brown. I think that to make a good rock and roll or rhythm and blues movie, you got to put James Brown in it.
There's the real answer. Let's move up to what's happening within the next couple of weeks. It's the 10-year anniversary of Saturday Night Live.
Indeed.
And as an alumnus, what do you think of the new cast?
Well, I don't know them all very, personally. I know Anthony Michael Hall's work and Randy's work, and I hear Denitra is very funny, and I've talked to one of the producers, Tom Davis, who with his partner Al Franken is going to produce the show with Lorne Michaels, and there's a really good spirit and a good feeling, and I feel good about it. I think it's instinctively it's going to be back on track. They're going to do that. They're going to bring back that old spirit.
I'll tell you what, I know that we got a few seconds left, and a lot of people want to know, will there be a sequel to Ghostbusters, Dan?
Absolutely.
Well, you got it right here.
I hope.
We're going to break away, and our continuing coverage of Bring On the Night is coming up more after this.
Happy birthday, Twyla.
Live at the Hard Rock Cafe, the Sting premiere party is happening. I am Martha Quinn with Adam Ant and Howie Mandel. Adam, last time I saw you was here at the Hard Rock Cafe. You're talking about your new album, and now you're out on the road. Tell me about the tour.
Yeah, well, it goes right across America. We started October the 8th, and we go through till December the 16th. Going everywhere.
I understand you kind of reworked your schedule to be here tonight.
Yeah, I was down in New Orleans, and Miles Copeland phoned me up and said, Sting's got an opening, come and see it. So I took time to come and see it tonight. It's well worth it. It's great.
One guy who's definitely glad you came all the way up here is Howie Mandel. Howie's been waiting all night to meet you. Howie, do you have a question? Adam, I think what Howie wants to know is, how did you like the movie?
Very touching. I thought it was a beautiful film. You know, the musical. It was about the first time I've seen that was actually what it's like to put a band together. And when the baby was born, that was it. I was just reaching for the Kleenex. It was great. Wonderful film. Sting should be congratulated.
Howie, anything else?
Good. Mark, that's you. I'm hungry. We're here with Paul Dean and Mike Reno from Loverboy, just walking by on the street. But we're here for a movie premiere. A lot of people saw a great movie tonight. How do you guys feel about rock and roll people getting into the movies?
Actually, everybody's into if you're in rock and roll, you kind of get it into the movies doing videos and stuff. You know, you have to kind of be a bit of an actor doing that. So I can see people getting into it. I love watching Sting in a movie because I love his music and everything. And The Last Waltz, like we were talking about on the break, and there's Ringo Starr, and he's always in movies.
You guys have had incredible success with this new record. I think the new record went platinum in about 5 minutes.
4.
4 minutes, was it?
4
I think
minutes,
that must be a record for you guys.
Yeah, a pretty good record.
But what about the singles? The singles are, how are they doing?
Well, this is actually, Lovin' Every Minute of It was actually Loverboy's first top 10 single. And we'd like to thank everybody in TV land and radio land. And we've never had a top 10 single,
Hard to believe.
Well, a lot of people say, well, you must have had about 5 top 10 singles, but we've never had one, and this is the first one, so we're very happy.
We feel pretty good about it.
A lot of people, of course, are familiar with you because they see your videos on MTV, and people are already starting to ask, well, what's the next one going to be after loving every minute of it?
It's going to be called Dangerous, on the second side of the album. I'm wearing this jacket. I'm trying to practice up, trying to be the heavy, you know.
That is the Bryan Adams song.
Yeah.
I want to thank you guys for stopping by, and we're going to go back down and see how Howie is doing on that taco. Howie and Martha.
All right, here we go. We are here with Janice Pendarvis and Dillette McDonald and Howie Mandel. Go ahead, Howie.
How you doing? I just saw the movie. The movie's great. Was it neat for you to be sitting in the theater watching yourself?
Of course. It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Wait, did you get nervous that people were going to not react as well as they did?
Well, I felt like I was doing a gig.
Oh, really?
It was like doing a
job. It was great.
Yes.
It was neat to watch you. I can't even carry a tune.
Oh. But you can do other things much nicer.
Well, how do you know?
I've seen you.
Oh, that's, you sing even when you're talking. Isn't that neat?
Have to keep in practice.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Yeah.
You have a question for them, Martha?
Is it true that you guys really weren't nervous that opening night?
No, not really. I was really concerned about my heels. I hate wearing heels. They hurt me through the whole show.
I'm like that too. I hate wearing heels also. But I love wearing culottes and a halter top.
During rehearsals, were you nervous that there was camera crews there all the time?
Not really nervous, but because you have to rehearse, so you concentrate on what you're doing with the rehearsal. But you're aware because you know that in 10 years you're going to see this movie on late night TV, and you want to like the person that you see 10 years from now.
Well, I certainly wish you the best of luck in that. We're going to go upstairs to Mark Goodman.
One of the latest people to arrive here, one of the people who just arrived, Jelly Bean Benitez. First of all, Jelly Bean, happy birthday.
Thank you, thank you.
And a lot of people saw Bring On the Night tonight, a movie where camera crews were right up in the faces of the musicians as they were trying to make the music. As a producer, how would you feel about having a camera crew roaming around in the studio while you were trying to make a record?
Well, I think it would be interesting to see what would happen, but I think that it might inhibit some of the performances from the musicians or the singer themselves, and maybe myself and what I was doing. So it was really hard to do, I'm sure, but they seemed to pull it off and Bring On the Night. It didn't seem to bother them at all.
Do you think you would consider doing something like that?
It might be fun to try. I just wouldn't attempt to do it during vocals.
And why is that?
Well, because that's usually the hardest thing in making a record, is capturing the performance. And I think that having a camera crew there or a camera running while the singer was singing might inhibit them from giving a great performance.
What are you involved in? What's the most recent project, or what are you most excited about working on now?
Well, the most recent project that I'm producing is Debbie Harry's forthcoming album, and we're writing songs and doing all the pre-production for that right now. And
Want to mention Howie's record?
Okay.
Come on, mention Howie Mandel's record before we break for commercial.
I just did a 12-inch of Watusi, which is Howie Mandel's forthcoming 12-inch. It's a really fun record.
We're looking forward to it.
Okay.
Thank you, Jelly Bean.
Thank you.
We're going to break away, and we're going to be back to the party. It ain't over yet. Don't go anywhere.
Here at the Hard Rock Cafe, live in New York City with Paul Schaefer, who, of course, does his own...
Let me do this, too, just so I feel at home. I don't have anything in my ear, but I'm going to stick my finger in there anyway.
Like the Bee Gees.
What a party. Yeah, let's do a little Bee Gees. Let's pretend that we're the Bee Gees doing... How drunk am I, Martha? I'm sorry.
Well, let's just move ahead, Paul. Okay. You, of course, were Artie Fufkin in Spinal Tap, the quintessential rock and roll movie. Tell me what you thought of this movie.
This was a great movie. I just came from it. What's it called again?
Bring On the Night.
Bring On the Night. It's Sting's movie. No, I related to it seriously because I'm in a band, too, where it's like, you know, it was really good. It was really interesting. And the guy, let's face it, the guy's baby is born on film. It's unbelievably mind-blowing. It's a really marvelous scene. I really love the movie.
What do you think of the hors d'oeuvres?
Aren't you Howie Mandel?
Yes, aren't you Paul Schaefer?
Yes, it's great to see you.
Good to see you.
You usually don't make it to the event, you just come to the party after.
No, and this is Mohammed.
Mohammed?
Yes, from the Hard Rock Cafe. Paul Schaefer, Mohammed.
Can I get one of those t-shirts? What a great party. You cover all the parties, don't you, Martha?
Why, of course, here's Craig, who's come.
Hi, Craig.
Mohammed.
Can I get a t-shirt? Can I get one of those? T-shirts. It was a really terrific movie, and it's a great party. Everybody is here. I saw the kids from Loverboy here. They're from Canada. As you know, I'm from Canada, too.
I'm from Canada, too.
You're from...
All right, well, as we
But you know who
reminisce
isn't?
about Canada, we are going to go upstairs to Mark Goodman.
Oh gosh, everybody's from Canada here, except Michael Apted. Michael is the director of Bring On the Night, and it is a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's
with
a
all
fun
the
party.
noise.
Indeed, it's a fun party tonight.
Yeah, it's good.
When Sting talks about choosing a director for Bring On the Night, he said that he wanted a guy who was non-musical. With that in mind, what do you think that you saw that someone else who was musical might not have seen?
I don't know, I suppose what he wanted was someone who would get involved in the characters in the piece, would be involved more in the band than the playing, because, you know, we had to try and separate it off from the rest of the other rock and roll films, and we felt the only way was to get to know these people. And I've worked in feature films, I've worked with characters and whatever, and I've done other documentaries, and so maybe I wasn't that interested in just selling the music, I was more interested in the people who were making the music, and I think that's what he meant.
How involved was Sting in the directing process?
Well, not really. He sort of left it to me, because the problem with working with someone like Sting is that he's an actor, you know, and he knows the camera and he knows what to do and he's very aware of everything. And I had to try and break that down a bit. So if I wanted to get kind of natural moments and unguarded moments and strange things happening that he didn't know about, in a sense I had to try and break down that. So, and he sensed that. He let me get on with it. You know, he let me alone and said, just make the movie, you know.
You've captured some incredible moments in the film, and we're about to show a little bit of Bring On the Night. Why don't you set up what's about to happen here?
One of the things that we wanted to do is to show how the band rehearses. You know, we didn't want to just show the music, there it is. We wanted to show the music in preparation. So you're going to see a scene where Sting is rehearsing with the girls in Fortress. Well, you've all seen the video of Fortress. Fortress is a big number, you know, big hit. But it shows this little sequence how difficult it is to put a song together, how what we take for granted, the work that has to go into putting a song on.
Well, let's have a look at it. This is a scene from Bring On the Night.
Third, you sing a fifth, I'll sing the tonic. The same with barbed wire, same with bridge, the same with chasm or chasm.
No, chasm.
Chasm. It was chasm yesterday.
Yeah.
And then, on fire.
Just the last word of every line.
The last part around your heart.
Oh, around your heart. Okay.
I'll show you. If I built this fortress around your heart. Now full voice. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I built this fortress around your heart and circled you in trenches and barbed wire, let me build a bridge, or I cannot build a chasm, and let me set the battlements on fire. Okay, let's do it. Full ensemble. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I built this fortress around your heart and circled you in trenches and barbed wire, let me build a bridge, or I cannot build a chasm. Let me set the battlements on fire.
Piece from Bring On the Night, which opens around the country on Friday. Some very intense moments were captured in this film, interpersonal moments. Was there anything that happened during your filming that you felt was too personal, too intense to include?
Well, no. I mean, we were very doubtful about the whole sequence with the baby being born, you know. We did it. We weren't sure whether it would be appropriate in the film, because during the time we were in Paris filming, Sting's girlfriend gave birth to his 4th child. And so I decided to film it. And the deal was with Trudi and Sting that if it was inappropriate or if it didn't fit in the film, that we would take it out. And we were a bit worried about it, but we put it together. We put Russians over it, which fitted beautifully. And, you know, it seemed to work. But that was, I think, the toughest thing we had to do. Yeah. Otherwise, no. I mean, we put everything in that we could find, you know. Yeah. It was a real mishmash, if you like. I wanted to give a feeling of how much different sort of stuff goes on. Yeah. And no one ever came to me and said, you can't use this, you can't use that. If there was arguments going on, I filmed them and they're in the movie. You know, because it is tough. There is a lot of aggravation, a lot of hysteria putting a big show like that on, and we wanted to use that stuff. So if it was tough, it was good.
What's up next for Michael Apted?
Well, I want to go back and do another cinema film. You know, this is a documentary. I've just done a documentary before this, but my main line is, you know, doing films for the cinema, so I hope to start one of those soon.
Thank you very much, Michael.
My pleasure.
Michael has made it possible for us to get to know Sting a little better through his film. I guess a lot of other people got to know him through The Police, but The Police was just one part of Sting's career. Let's have a look.
It's never been our way to take the established route about anything. And the established route for a band in our position is to do one of two things. You can either break up and never speak to each other again, or you can carry on and be a group just because you can't think of anything else to do. The third choice, which is the one we have taken, is that we have neither broken up, but nor have we agreed to make another record. I think that you need to go out there and explore different avenues that you couldn't as a group. I recruited jazz musicians from New York. Not that I wanted to play jazz, not that I wanted them to play my kind of rock music. I was hoping that by taking them out of their environment and putting me outside of my own comfortable environment, we would end up with something that was different from both rock or jazz, something without a label. And I ended up choosing the four guys who are Branford Marsalis on saxophone, Kenny Kirkland on keyboards, Darryl Jones on bass, Omar Hakim on drums, because of the way they play, their rapport with each other, and also their rapport with me.
For this guy Sting for him to choose us and to decide to, you know, to go out with us, I think was kind of, you know, courageous on his part.
Virgins with rifles, a game of charade, all for our children's crusade.
Sting writes about things with meaning, you know, historical references and social references, and he writes about them in a way that you kind of have to think about what's being written to get the meaning.
I think the time when you could just get away with writing about partying on the beach or getting wild are over. That's not to say those songs aren't useful, you know, and we can't enjoy them, but I think from my point of view, my dignity as a person and as a songwriter needs to be used, and I feel it's my right to sing about what I want.
Sting's approach toward his music has carried over to his other career, acting. It started with his cameo appearance as the ace face in Quadrophenia. Although a non-speaking role, it later led to bigger roles. The demonic Martin Taylor in Brimstone and Treacle, the evil Fade in Dune, Dr. Frankenstein in The Bride, and most recently Mick, the object of Meryl Streep's desires in Plenty.
I mean,
I like you.
Success for me in making a film is being allowed to make another one. I don't have a long-term ambition to become a movie star. I enjoy making films. I enjoy meeting new people and having to deal with new relationships. I think in rock and roll you're normally cocooned in a sort of corridor where you meet the band you play with, you meet your manager, agents, and that's it. You're protected almost in a kind of rarefied world. Whereas in film, every film you make, you have to deal with a new set of people, like a director, actors, technicians, writers. So in many ways, it keeps me, it keeps my feet on the ground.
If I built this fortress.
Sting's latest film endeavor, Bring On the Night, stars Sting as Sting. The film not only documents the birth of Sting's new band, but also gives insight into Sting as a performer, a musician, and a person.
I wanted the audience in the cinema to be in the know. I wanted them to know those musicians on stage. So they knew something, they had something that the people in the theatre watching the concert didn't know. So really it's an inside look at a band and the pain and the anguish and the fun of making music.
The start of a group is always the most exciting time. It's like the start of a love affair. It's always the most electric and the most exciting and surprising time. And so, you know, most bands don't have enough funds to make a film about their beginnings, because they start in a garage and they borrow amplifiers and they save up for guitar strings and whatever, which is the case with me as well. But this band was formed with a lot of privilege, let's be honest.
Imagine, here you are, you're rehearsing for a series of shows that are about to be filmed. The rehearsals are being filmed. Everything it is that you're doing is going to be recorded. You're going to have to live with this for the rest of your life.
It's not like we're acting a part. You know, you're being yourself, and that's weird.
It was very hard to be myself in the movie. It was much easier to be a character, because you know what's expected of you. You can't behave normally in front of a camera on you. There's no way. You know, if I'd wanted to make a cosmetic film that looked great and made me look great and everybody else look great, then we would have done it now. But I wanted something that was raw and real and honest, and I think we achieved that.
You don't have to put on the red light. Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light.
All right, here we are live at the Hard Rock Cafe in New York City. I'm Martha Quinn with Howie Mandel, and here with us, Anthony Michael Hall and Robert Downey, who are in the new cast of Saturday Night Live. Now, we're live tonight, and in just, what is it, 5 days, you guys will be on the first show of Saturday Night Live. How do you think it's going to turn out?
We don't know. Basically, excuse me. I have a two-part question. Okay, do you guys find doing television different than doing film, and how? And the second part of the question is, have you tried the breaded chicken wings?
Well, I wet myself a lot more when I'm doing live television. And as for the chicken wings, I spank them. I don't
And then
eat
he
them.
spanks himself.
I spank myself as well.
Me too.
No, by the way, if you're not there, it's November 9th. It's on NBC 11:30. If you're not there, you know nothing. Nothing whatsoever.
Okay. He means it. Okay, you know where we're going now? We're going back up to Mark.
These guys are getting wild. Omar Hakim is here. Daryl Jones is here. Branford Marsalis, co-stars in Bring On the Night. How do you guys feel about the way that you were portrayed in the movie?
I'm into it, man.
No, actually, I think it's accurate. I think it really shows the way, you know, a little piece of the way we really are. I think so.
It's an honest portrayal.
I think it is. I do think it is.
Yeah.
I didn't say you know.
You know. He always says you know.
Daryl, you know, there was a moment in the film where you talked about it being a kind of almost uncomfortable because you weren't sure it was a band situation. How, looking back on it now, do you feel as though it's a band? All of you can answer this. Do you feel as though it was a band that you could all contribute ideas, no restrictions?
I have to.
Come on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have to speak about why I said that at the time. At the time, you know, Sting gave us a lot of creative license, and I wondered how long it would last. You know, I wondered if he would. You know, I wondered if he was, you know, if he put us on a leash that he was going to choke us with later. And it turned out not to be that way.
And as time went on,
he gave us,
with each other.
And he gave us, you know, he never pulled back. You know, he never told us, okay, don't play that and don't do that. He just, you know, he went with it. You know.
I was a sax player, so I just played what I wanted to anyway.
We're about to go into, for me, one of the lighter moments of the film, where you guys do this Flintstones bit. Do you want to sort of tell us in a few seconds what was leading up to that, what you felt like, why it happened? Branford, why don't you do it?
No, well, okay. Well, they really started, we were joking around, and he started doing that Popeye laugh. Do the Popeye laugh, man. See? And then they got to, I was talking about Bullwinkle, you know, doing Bullwinkle imitations, and then we started talking about the Flintstones. And, you know, everything was like, you know the Flintstones. Sting says, no, I don't, and we did it. You can see it on the film for yourself.
Let's have a look. This is great moments in film right here.
My favorites, though, all the time. The Flintstones. With the Flintstones. You know that Sting? No. Yes, you do. Teach me. All British people know the Flintstones. That's a lie.
When you're with the Flintstones.
Yeah, I know. We started singing in the wrong key.
Yeah, the Flintstones family. From the town of Bedrock, they're a place out of history. That's right. Down the street. When you're with the Flintstones, a dabba dabba
I wish we had Kenny here to do that for us live.
Right.
He's downstairs enjoying the party.
Right.
Maybe, this might be a tough question to answer, but what do you think the difference is between jazz and the music that you're doing with Sting?
A lot of differences. It's too tough to answer.
That's a tough question.
It's a tough question. It's hard to explain. It's social differences. The difference in attitude. It's too tough. It's too tough. It's one of the big differences is the difference between 10,000 records and 11 million records.
That's true. That's different.
But seriously, folks. No.
And you make some great comments in the film about the role of a jazz musician and where they fit in the marketplace.
Way
I want
down
to thank
there
you all for
somewhere.
coming. And congratulations. I hope you're ready for the nationwide success this is going to bring. You want to say something, Daryl, before we go?
I'd like to really thank you for the colored mics, man. I think they're great. The red one, the blue one, the clear one, and the green one.
The green one is happening.
Kind of nice, huh? Let's go down to Howie and Martha downstairs and see what color mics they have.
All right, Mark, I think Howie's got red. I have a white one. And we have here with us Lauren Hutton and Jim Carrey, who are just in a new movie together called Once Bitten. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the movie?
I don't know anything about it. Let him talk.
Oh, okay. Well, it's actually about seduction, vampirism, and just all kinds of necrophilia, everything.
I should have
Sounds like a Disney film.
I should have worn my teeth.
Isn't it about a woman?
Necrophilia.
Isn't it about a woman, vampirist, that has to find virgin guys to survive?
She's a Southern California vampire.
It was a stretch.
Yeah, looking for a virgin.
How can you?
And I was terrified, especially during my own close-ups.
How can you tell if a guy's a virgin?
A smegma.
Oh, wait a second. No,
you
no,
look for
I know. He has
Does anyone know?
He has an arm that goes like this.
Wow.
That's the mark of a virgin.
That's
right
what to
here,
look for,
live
girls.
on MTV.
That's right.
The mark of a virgin. Once Bitten, opening November 15th. Now, I always wanted to say this, okay? We're going to be back with more clips, an interview with Sting, more things from the movie, more party, more hors d'oeuvres, right after a word from our sponsor.
I want MTV.
Bring on the Night is going to be opening around the country on Friday. And right now we're going to show you some places where you can see that movie in a theater near you. And we don't even know where you live. We've been joined now by Chris Reeve. Hello. I think everybody recognizes Chris. You're an actor, but not a musician. But as an actor, I feel you must be qualified to comment on how you think musicians are as actors.
Very few really have it, you know, because I don't know what it is, but there's something about acting where you have to use yourself in a totally different way. But I don't know, over the years, you can count on the fingers of one hand who can really make a transition from musician to actor. But this somehow, recently, there have been a number. Cher turned into a really fine actress with the help of Mike Nichols, and Sting has the makings of major movie star. I'm jealous as hell. I'm changing agents. I'm really worried because he's going to get a lot of parts.
Yeah. In Bring On the Night, there is a sequence where Sting's girlfriend, Trudi Styler, is having a child. Can you imagine having your, having a child of yours being born in a film?
No. Actually, my son Matthew was born at the same time as Trudi's son, so they're just about the same age. But no, I have to admit I haven't seen the film, so I don't know what he's talking about. But anyway,
that's an easy way to get out of it. It would be a tough one. What do you think that is special about this band? Are you a jazz fan?
A jazz fan? No, not really. I'm a Sting fan, though.
Yeah.
I think Sting, I mean, a lot of modern music, frankly, I think is just noise. And I think a lot of the people who make it as recording artists...
You're making big friends with the MTV audience right now,
Well,
Chris.
there's a lot of recording artists I don't think really deserve the airplay.
Yeah.
But there are some groups who really know music. And really, and the variety of what Sting does and did with the Police is incredible. I wish him a long life.
Thank you very much, Christopher Reeve. And we're going to go downstairs now. Martha and Howie, and I guess Howie's still eating. I don't know.
No, Howie's not eating anymore.
I just finished eating, Mark.
We are here with Billy Squire and Paul Stanley. Paul, getting ready to go out on tour?
Yes, I am. We're still trying to make a fine art out of madness, so we're going out on tour to bring a traveling zoo to your city.
Watch out for that. December 16th, Madison Square Garden.
Billy, you're in the studio now doing an album, right?
Sorry. Yes, guys, we're just starting.
Is doing an album as easy as doing cassettes? You know, some people go out and buy the album, some people buy the cassettes.
It's not actually as profitable. You know, the cassettes they've taken over a bit, so...
But you can save so much time, you don't have to put that hole right in the middle.
Absolutely.
When will your album be out?
We'd like to think it'd be out in the spring, actually.
You'd like to think that, but is that going to happen?
Well, that's the grand plan. You know, things can change. It could happen a little sooner, it could happen a little later, but when it's right, it's right.
Well, we're going to be looking forward to it.
If I could interrupt the debate between cassettes and album making, I know you are working on a new record right now, and tonight
Martha and I got married last night. Come on, announce it.
We are live at the Sting premiere party in New York City, and what we're going to do right now is world premiere the brand new video from Sting's movie. Wow. The track is called "I Burn for You," right here for the first time anywhere from Bring On the Knife. Thank you, Billy. Let's watch.
Let's go.
Smile, or the shade of your parasol, and your love flows through me. Though I drink at your pool, I burn for you. I burn for you, and I are lovers. Nighttime falls around our bed. In peace we sleep entwined, and your love flows through me. Though an ocean soothes my head, I burn for you. I burn for I burn for you. Stars will fall from dark skies. Position rocks are turning. And cry
for the first time ever on television. That is Sting and I Burn For You. That is from his movie called Bring On the Night. Now, if you stay with us, Mark Goodman is going to be back with Sting himself, so stay right here. We are live at the Hard Rock Cafe in New York City. Live at the Hard Rock Cafe in New York City. I am Martha Quinn with Howie Mandel.
I'm Howie Mandel.
We have been having an unbelievable night already. We have seen Jelly Bean Benitez, Anthony Michael Hall.
Everybody, and I'm not even wearing underwear. This has been great. There's hors d'oeuvres.
But you know, one thing that we didn't get to see was the famous Howie Mandel rubber glove deal.
You want to see my rubber glove? Hold this. All right. I should say that Saturday night I'm going to be at the Universal Amphitheater, then I'm going to be in San Francisco, then Cincinnati, Philadelphia, and right here in New York. Let's do this really fast.
Here it is, the encore, the Stairway to Heaven for Howie Mandel. Oh, no. All right, Mark. Mark has Sting upstairs. Thank you, Howie Mandel.
What do you think? What do you think of Howie?
I think he has a great future.
And I think you do as well, and certainly everybody watching at home knows it. Bring On the Night premiered tonight, and you went to the premiere, didn't you? How was it sitting in the audience and watching that?
It's a bit grueling. It's like putting yourself on trial, really, because it's a live audience and with real responses, and they're not guaranteed to like it. And then I'm sitting there and among them, but they loved it, and they laughed, and they cried, and they clapped, and so I feel good.
Were there parts where you expected laughs and got silence, or?
No, I think it is a funny movie, you know, and people laughed in exactly the right. It was like they were rehearsed, you know.
Yeah. You've spoken a couple of times when you speak about this film. The idea is that you really can't be normal when you stick a camera in someone's face. How close did we get to Sting then in this movie?
Almost too close, in a way. I think the game is to invite scrutiny and get away with it. And I'm not sure whether I got away with it or not. I mean, it's very close to the real me, and it's very different from the image that is put out by the media.
Are there things that you think have been missed by the film?
Well, you can't put everything into a 100-minute movie. You can't do it. But it's a very honest look at a week in my life. And I'm glad we made the movie. I don't regret it. I think it's going to entertain people. People will learn something from it.
I think one of the fun scenes in the film, and there are a number of them, as you say, is your interaction with this photographer. Why don't you tell us? We're going to go into that clip in a moment. You can tell us who he is.
It's a friend of mine called Max Viducal, and he's a loony, and he takes photographs like a loony takes photographs. And he makes you into a crazy man too, and he gets a different kind of picture, which you'll see in the clip.
Is he someone that you had worked with before?
He did the album cover.
For this album, but before that?
No, I met him this year. He's a strange, wonderful guy.
Let's have another look at Bring On the Night. This is the photographer sequence. You're going to love this.
I'll pay you tomorrow.
What is wrong with you?
Come on. Do that again.
The expression. Yes, fast. I think it's quite perfect,
Max is one of these wonderful madmen who bring out the fool in everyone else. He's the creative fool. Max works in an interesting way. It's so disarming, the way he photographs you, that you're forced, really, to drop the mask. You know, when you're photographed, you have maybe 3 expressions. There's that one. Well, there's that one, the nice guy, you know. And you see it in all the front covers I'm on, you know, there's one of 3 expressions. Max has found a new sting just by disorientating, by chasing me through fields or me chasing him.
joyous stuff. Bring On the Night, which opens in theaters around the country on Friday. We've been joined by Trudi Styler, who has a big role in this film, and the question has been asked. The baby is born. Your baby is born in this film, and there had to be a lot of thought that went into deciding to do that. How do you feel about sharing a moment like that with the world on film?
Do you mean how do I feel tonight about it?
Okay, I'll go for that. Sure.
Well, I feel joyous because the reaction from the audience was that they were very moved and very touched. I mean, if you're talking about at the time when those guys were in the room with me, they were very supportive and very warm, and I would like to have had a camera on them to show you that they were all crying and just being very supportive to me at that time.
That's exciting to hear, as a matter of fact. Now, how did you feel going into it, the decision-making process? Were you thinking, oh, I don't know?
Yeah, that was hard, but Sting and myself decided that we would have it as a personal archive, if nothing else, and that we'd be able to see it before anybody else did and approve it or say, no, we think it's too personal to include. But when we saw it, we were very delighted with what Michael Apted had done.
You're happy with the inclusion?
I think it means something. With the song, The Russians, it actually says something about that song.
Yeah.
And it's not a piece of gratuitous home movie making. It actually is a very profound moment. And everyone in the cinema was crying, including me, and I cried again. And so did you.
This movie was also about the birth of a band, and before we jump downstairs again to Martha and Howie, will you be recording with this band again?
Well, I'm making a live album next month in Europe with this band, and I'm looking forward to that very much. That'll come out next year.
Okay. I want to thank you both for joining us. Congratulations on a wonderful film. And we are going to go downstairs. The party is almost over, but not quite yet. Let's go down to Howie and Martha.
Certainly not over quite yet, Mark. We are here. Everybody's here. Omar Hakim,
Omar.
his mom.
Omar, you're going to be eating this? Not now. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Dolette McDonald, Jonathan Demme, we certainly want to thank you for joining us. We are live at the Hard Rock Cafe in New York City. If you missed even a little bit of our party tonight, Thursday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 out on the West Coast, we are going to do it all again. Maybe get a better chance with the hors d'oeuvres. Cindy, I'm sure, will serve them up. So that is it from the Hard Rock Cafe. I figure we shall say good night.
Bye.